What's good, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we're going to 5-star Eventide Ramparts. We're going to use the same rules that we did before, only this time I'm actually going to drop the items that I will not be using from the deck just before we go in. For this stage, we're going to start with the Eventide Ramparts. This is a returning stage from Apprentice. It's a little bit more difficult this time around. We have exploding kobolds, grenade hunters, which are gnolls that just chuck grenades at you. They're kind of dangerous. But the grenades give you a little bit of a warning. You can actually step out of the way of them, but still, they kind of force you to retreat. Otherwise, you take a ton of damage. And then we have Orfum, the mountain troll. He actually just attacks barricades. If he hits them a few times, they'll break, and the paths of the enemies will change if you barricaded an area off. Sometimes it's an issue, sometimes it isn't, but we'll take a look and see what we get in. Alright, I got my skins back recently, so I'm going to use the Halloween skin from X. No Christmas one as far as I can tell, but here we go. So we're dropping the Mage's Clover and the Blacksmith Guardian, because there is no guarantee that you get those. Although Blacksmith Guardian is from Apprentice, so it is likely that you will wind up with him at some point in the future. Then we're going to go ahead and start with that. So these two traps, barricade and floor spikes, are tier 4. These are 3, one's 2, and this is 1. So no damage boost on the swinging mace, which is, you know, kind of okay. I'd like to get a boost on it eventually, but that's the way the cards dropped. Alright, here we go. Alright, and we're jumping right in. So we don't have a guardian to place here at his home location, so we're going to skip that place. I'm going to barricade this up, force the enemies to pass the path around.
I'll never notice this. Whoopsie, almost hurt myself on that.
Then we're going to arrow wall that up.
I'll just leave this right here.
Get some more arrows there.
I'll never notice this.
Arrows here.
Measure twice.
Arrows there. Just walls everywhere.
Whoopsie, almost hurt myself on that. I'll never notice this. I'll just leave this right
Alright,
here.
with all those walls up, we're going to go ahead and begin. Now, we're going to pretty much try to charge the starting enemies as soon as possible. And when the enemies are switching gates, we're just going to have to massy and run. We have very, very little time. It's even tighter than it was in Apprentice. So extra time is not a thing. Need to deal damage to enemies as soon as possible. Thanks for the bonus point. That will definitely help me out. Alright, the big guys, you're going to want to pop your in-your faces as soon as possible. We got an Unchained pickup too, so that's going to be great.
Twice, not once.
Drop a brimstone there. And then we're just going to start peppering the area back here. Spike traps.
Whoopsie, almost hurt myself on that. I'll just leave this right here.
And some more arrow walls. Blast them in the face so that we don't waste our time with them. And get that accuracy, which will help you line up your shots better. Right. Massy immediately. So when we get back around this corner, I'm going to drop the Lion Guardian and just spam arrow walls back across here. It'll give you good coverage on dealing damage. Open the gate and just start unloading. A couple of good AoE shots, and that will soften up all of the orcs for you. Now, Max was summoned as a hero. I'm going to try to let the Guardian take care of him while I deal with these guys. And he did. Good job, Guardian. So the enemies passing around are basically going to be running into my arrow walls. These guys are getting nicely softened up. Guardian should be able to pick off whoever I can. Alright, and now we have to deal with the enemies actually making it through, and the archers which are trying to take out the guardians. Cleaned all of them up pretty well. Okay. So now we're going to want to finish this, which will let us focus on the front enemies a bit more. Same situation as before. The swinging maces, we're going to put some concussive counters on the end, as well as some spike traps. And then we're going to tar trap up everything in front of the spikes. So if anything manages to get through the end, through the arrows and the swinging maces, the tar traps, as well as the spikes there, sorry, not the tar, the spikes and the concussive counters should deal a ton of damage to them. That should mainly be the medium ogres that happen to make it out. Alright, and combos and such that we're getting here should help me to level a bit more, do some more damage. While we can, let's actually
I'll never notice this.
Get some more spikes up here.
I'll just leave this right here. I'll never notice this. Twice.
That was placed wrong. Oh well, deal with it.
Almost hurt myself on that. I'll never notice this. That's twice.
And that was placed a bit bad too, but whatever. They will run, they will die, we will win.
I'll just leave this right here.
Okay, and those will hopefully soften up the majority of the enemies without me having to actually be there. Alright, we're nearing our trap limit though. Can't sell those and replace them. That's fine for now. Get a couple more traps in front of those guys.
You'll never notice this. Whoopsie, almost hurt myself on that. You'll never notice this.
Okay, so the spikes should be doing a good job now. And on wave 6, we have about 5.5 minutes left. We've just started, so we're actually a little bit behind par. The later waves are longer, so you need to make sure that you are clearing out the early stuff without too much of it. I aimed that wrong. That was a problem. Alright, and if you can clear up the enemies at the same time due to traps and player damage working well together, that's great.
Measure twice, cut once.
Okay.
I'll just leave this right here.
You should never actually get that far, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, and that takes pretty much all the Hogarth's HP away, which is great. He has a ton of HP. Highest health hero, I believe, at the moment. He's just not really scary. And Ivy's heal is at the point where it does not regenerate enough of her health for you to care. Alright, these guys are actually in low numbers, so let's actually run down here and let the traps do the job. Knowing when to not have to stay and fight enemies because of your trap setup is going to be super important. When you're trying to get through this, it'll make sure that you don't waste time, and your pars will be a lot closer. I should say your times will be a lot closer to par, if not under. So we have 2 waves and about 4 minutes to do them in, which is really, really good. Mostly I blame placing the spikes up here. They're doing a really good job of clearing up the enemies before they actually get too far. The medium orcs are the ones that you'll usually have to worry about. And there's these gnolls, but they don't seem to know what they're doing at the moment, which is kind of great. Gonna let them run through the spike mage spell. And I'm surprised that those guys didn't cause me more problems. Kobolds are generally really tricky to pin down, and if you don't do it just right, it's a problem. Okay, so that was most of the time that you would probably wind up wasting right there.
Twice, cut once.
Alright, so we have 2 waves left. A little under 3 minutes to do them in. It's about 1.5 minutes per wave. The last wave is probably going to take about 2 minutes, so I need to finish this one really fast. This is working. Okay, a little bit of coin out there. I don't even need the coin anymore. Okay, so that finishes them off at the same time. We have almost, yeah, we have 2 minutes for the next wave, which is good. That's how much time I should need. Alright, let's see what's coming out. Alright, that's aimed just right. Got a good few minions killed. And now we have Orpheum coming. Now, if we're lucky, Orpheum is going to pass following the traps that I've set up and actually get himself killed. If that happens, we are golden. If not, we have a bit of a problem. And it looks like he's passing into the traps. Let's see how well it does. Alright, he killed himself. Good. And we've got 1.5 minutes left. I think we have this. The main thing I'm worried about are multiple waves coming out of the top of the map right now. I think this is pretty much done. The enemies are still coming out of here. And there we go. Spike floor spam saves the day. Five stars. All right. Alright, so that was the Eventide Ramparts. That was a really close game. I expect it to be that way. Rift Mage requires a lot more responsiveness and just basically ace placement of traps to actually be able to hit the rift times, especially with the default traps, but it is possible. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can do the same in the banquet hall, and that'll probably be the next video. Either way, thank you guys for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, have a good one, folks.